Ready? Okay. 14 overall committees, 15 overalls, 1 overall chair, 370 organizations, 315 captains, 2,300 committee members, and over 15,000 participating students. This is the largest student-run philanthropy, and this is Thon. The mission of the Penn State IFC Pan-Atlantic Dance Marathon is to conquer pediatric cancer by providing outstanding emotional and financial support to the children, families, researchers, and staff of the Four Diamonds Fund. Together, we will find a cure for the kids. 1 in every 330 Americans will develop cancer by the age of 20. Over 12,500 children and adolescents will develop pediatric cancer, and 2,300 pediatric cancer patients will succumb to their disease every single year. There are currently 212 Four Diamonds families. Every single one of them needs our help, and every single one of them is fighting a huge, huge battle. Most of these families must leave behind their jobs to support their family and to support their kid, just to get them through the disease as best they can. They really have nothing, to support them financially, and a lot of the extra treatments, like psychologists and professionals, a lot of the treatments, the chemo, can cost up to thousands of dollars, and it piles up pretty quickly, and they have no extra way of paying this. These families come from all over Pennsylvania, and as you know, it's a very large state, so the trip to the Hershey Medical Center could be up to an hour, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, and they have to make this 2 to 3 times a week if their child is not required to stay in the hospital. Could you imagine paying that amount of gas? Think about how much it takes to fill your car. I have a small car, and it's like $50. It's so expensive, and they don't have the extra money to be spending on all this gas. It really, really adds up. Also, the hotel stays every single time they're there. It's hard to drive back and forth. The restaurants, the money, the fast food, it's all extra, and they have so much on their plate already. I can't imagine watching your child go through cancer and watching your child suffer, and all the pain the child goes through, the family goes through. They have so much on their plate. They really don't need this extra payment. It's a lot to worry about. We may not be able to cure their pain, and we cannot cure the disease as of right now, but we can most definitely do our part in helping them fight it. The more we pull together as a university, the bigger Thon can become. There may be 15,000 students, but we need more. We can't cure cancer right now, so we're always going to have this problem. And together, the more people we have, the more ideas we can come up with to raise money, the more events. And these events also make the family smile. So if we come up with new ones, they'll be having things to look forward to. And that's so important because these kids need a reason to smile. More of us working together means that the more of us can make a difference in the life of a child. We can change their lives, and we need more people. Can you imagine that, a world without cancer? Can you imagine that one day when we will make that difference in the life of 12,500 children by the age of 20, when that number will no longer exist? Four Diamond child Brandon Luce died from pediatric cancer at the age of 9. When he died, his parents found this little box that he had underneath his bed. In it, he had 3 wishes, and no one was allowed to look at them until he died. The first of the 3 was to marry his girlfriend. The second was that all of his pain would go away. And the third was to cure cancer. Can you imagine fulfilling his wish? I think he deserves that. Right now, we're dancing in hopes that we will fulfill his wish one day, but we need more of you. If you didn't get involved this year, don't worry about it. No big deal. We're just freshmen. You have plenty of time. If you did, that's amazing, and I highly encourage you to get more involved and to stay involved every single year. We need to fulfill Brandon's wish, and we need to help out these kids to the best that we can. So how can you get involved? There are so many ways. It's really simple, so there's really no excuse not to. If you haven't gotten involved yet, you have all next year, starting in September. Just get involved as best you can. There are 370 participating organizations. This includes frats and sororities, Greek life, because it is the IFC Pan-Atlantic Dance Marathon. It also includes regular interest orgs that you can look up, and anything that you might like to do, dancing, sports, singing, whatever it may be, they all participate in Thon as well, so you can get involved that way. There's also special interest orgs. They're a growing number. And they're really, really popular, like Ohana, Acacia, and Thon 2011's biggest fundraiser overall was Atlas. These special interest orgs focus solely on Thon. So if you can't find another org that fits your interest, no big deal. You can always participate in them. And they're really big, and I've heard they have a lot of fun. The last way you can get involved is Thon has 14 overall committees. COM, Rules and Regs, HOS, Morale, OPP. You can find one that fits your interests. They're very big, and starting in September, you can go on thon.org and you can look out more about each committee specifically. And in September, there will be a date. It's not up yet, but you can fill out an application for Thon 2012 for these committees, and you'll go to an interview. And it's a really simple way to get involved, and it's really incredible. You need to get involved with all of these things. It's so important that we help out these families because they're doing so much and they're fighting so much. We can do our small part. And if you think about it, Thon's going to change your own life as well. You're not just making a difference in the life of a child, you're changing your own life. Thon is going to give you the perspective to remember that everybody out there is always fighting a bigger battle than you are. So if you have a really bad day, it gives you perspective and it lets you remember, okay, maybe it's not so bad when there's 2-year-olds having a really rough time. It will change your life, and it's so moving to be a part of. By joining Thon 2012, whether it be for the first time or as an experienced participant, you'll be joining the fight against pediatric cancer. And together we can fight the disease because together we are without limits.